Today's video tidbit learning is about moving the goalpost. In small group discussions, some unique learning happens to parents. They get to talk and listen to others. As a result of the learning that we drew out from the one-on-one program when we started the now&next program, we realized that parents were really enjoying the new knowledge that they were getting, but that they were still feeling isolated, and so they needed to talk to other parents. That's why we always start the now&next program with a small group discussion. In these small group discussions, everyone would get a chance to talk, as opposed to in big group discussions, some people might be shy. And the small group discussions are always about the same topic, which is, how was it for you to work on your goals since the last session? The reason we don't have an open question was like, how was your week, will be another topic in another video tidbit. So in discussing how they worked on their goals with other parents, we found that there's three most common mistakes that people make in goal setting and goal getting. The first one is setting a short-term goal that in fact is disguised a long-term goal. So if you want to teach your child to ride a bicycle, you're not going to put this as the short-term goal that the child will ride without training wheels for 10 minutes. That's way too far. However, we often sneak in these things in a short-term goal. So this is why we have a session in which we look at the pickability goal and we discuss with everyone, is your short-term goal really a match for your long-term goal? So we take care of this potential mistake. The second mistake that can happen is we start working on a goal, we hit an obstacle, and then we give up. And this is very demoralizing for parents, and we end up thinking, oh, I'm not good at that, I can't do goal setting. But in fact, we do have a mechanism to take care of that, and that is the 5 windows. We know that the 5 windows are not only a way to act in the future, but they're also a predictor. So if something went wrong, we go back to the 5 windows and find out where we actually have to modify. So we've taken care of the second one too. So the third potential mistake is moving the goalpost. So that's my topic today. Moving the goalpost is about when a person sets out to get result X, but in the process, they're not saying it, they're not changing the goal outwardly, but they think inwardly that they want X plus plus. And for instance, in order to achieve the long-term goal for my child to ride a bicycle, I really want my child say first, if we follow the process, we ask, what is your child doing so far? Well, my child has not sat on the bicycle yet, so surely the first step is sitting on the bicycle for 5 seconds or 10 seconds, whatever you think your child can do. So when reporting in the small discussion, we must listen very, very carefully. That's why the facilitators are meant to sit at the table and not at the front of the room, or not writing on the board. We sit with people at the table because we need to listen how they describe that they worked on their goal. There's 2 possibilities. One is you get a happy parent and said, yes, we achieved our goals, we did this, we did that, that's great. And then there is the other parent who said, oh, I'm not sure, we did this, but. So listen for a but, because the but is a flag for you. It's a red flag that the person has been moving their goal. So how was it to work with your child and sit on the bicycle for 10 seconds? Oh, she sat on the bicycle, but she had a tantrum because she couldn't get her favorite doll to be in the basket of the bicycle. So as a facilitator, you say, hold on a minute, hold on. Did you say that she did sit on the bicycle for the time that you had allocated? And the answer is yes, but there was a tantrum. Okay, then are you moving your goalpost, dear? So what I do when I sit at the table is I I take a little bit of a joking slant, gently and respectfully, but and starting to say also, oh, it happens to everyone. Hey, listen to this. So I use the opportunity that we're sitting in a small group, to explain really thoroughly what it means when we say moving the goalpost, because this becomes a learning experience for the other people around there. And it's not, oh, I'm just going to have a quick conversation on the side with that parent to let them know. No, I need to actually involve the other parents at the table, because inevitably what happens is everyone starts giggling nervously. Oh yes, I've done that before also. So we use this to bring it to the table as a learning opportunity. And then if that person is comfortable enough, I ask. So far no one said no, but I ask, would you mind to come and explain to the rest of the group? You have now this precious knowledge that you could share with the other people and help them gain a new perspective on goal setting. And so as we, after this small discussion, there is one person who gets up and explains, these are the 4 or 5 windows that we're working on exactly. Now, if that person comes to the front of the room, that person now becomes a teacher. That person now can transform a not so nice experience perhaps into a positive experience for them and for the other group, the other persons in the group. So for me, it's really important that firstly, we are aware as facilitators what moving the goalpost means. That's really important. There is no mini lecture about that. That's just something that happens along the way that we must be aware of. Secondly, we must be at the table during the small discussion so that we can identify it happening. Unfortunately, it's one of those situations when we need somebody else's feedback. We need it to be mirrored back to us to perhaps realize it the first time or the second time. But the good news is that we can then learn how to start identifying it for ourselves. We've had couples doing the Now and Next group together. They start talking in session. Be careful, dear, you're moving the goalpost. And that's what we want to get to. We want to get to the point where people start using the now and next language, and moving the goalpost is part of the vocabulary, because it's a different way of looking. It's not about failure. It's just about what we learn along the way, the information that we learn. So we can get this learning above ground. We can do it playfully. We can do it in a way that everyone benefits from the learning. So what are you going to do about it next time? Small discussion, sit down at the table and listen. Thank you.